Our husband recipient, born in Coshocton, raised and schooled here, graduated from Coshocton High School in the spring of 1945. Although the war was drawing to a close, and even though his father could have arranged an appointment to an officer candidacy school, he chose to volunteer as a regular soldier in the Army. Probably due to his intelligence, he was assigned to the cryptology section. He obviously was one of the sharper pencils in the box, and served under General MacArthur, where he would intercept messages from foreign countries during the remainder of his tour of duty in the Philippines and occupied Japan. He is still active in organizing the annual reunion of the members of the ASA-PAC, the Army Security Agency Pacific, attending most of the meetings usually held in Kentucky. But more importantly, in relation to his service to our country, he has initiated the idea of the KIA, Killed in Action, bridge naming project in Coshocton County, working with the local veteran groups to find a person who lived nearest to the bridge to honor his sacrifice by naming the bridge for that person. A very magnanimous gift to our community and an honor to the person and family of the one named. It's just another way he quietly works for the veterans of our community. After he returned home, he enrolled in Denison University, but later moved to Ohio State because Denison did not offer a business degree, and Ohio State did. While there, he drove a cab and sold Cutco knives door to door to help pay for school. But something much more important happened during his days at Ohio State. He and the fraternity brother met two gals from Ohio Wesleyan on a blind date. When not sure who would be with whom, he decided for them and told his friend that he'd, quote, take the tall blonde, end quote, and left the other for his friend. Well, that tall blonde was the reluctant participant in the blind date event, doing it only for her sorority sister. Well, as they say, to make a long story short, they fell in love after more dates and became engaged. The wedding was postponed temporarily because the blonde had an older sister that was not yet married, and being from a prominent family from Washington, Pennsylvania, it was a courtesy for her to wait. Well, after a brief waiting period, they decided to get married, and so they did, in her parents' backyard, in a very elaborate and elegant ceremony. Her parents really took to our husband recipient, and our husband and wife team began building a family of 4 girls after they moved back to Coshocton, which was soon after his graduation from college. When they first returned, he began working for his father in his business, and then later co-founded, along with his wife, the business that they still own and run, and they have run it for nearly 50 years and are a beloved couple to their employees. The couple has been very generous with their time and monetary commitment to our community. They have given money and time to many organizations that have enriched our daily lives. They have, either directly or through their family trust, given support to the Coshocton Foundation, the Coshocton County Memorial Hospital, the Coshocton Animal Shelter and 4 Paws, both monetary and by gifts of service and supplies, and the occasional taking in of strays for temporary shelter. And the list keeps on growing. The women's shelter, again with money as well as supply. The husband has donated many items and his wife many photographs, some of which have been displayed to the Johnson Humrick House Museum. They have given money to the Central Ohio Technical College, the Coshocton Presbyterian Church, where the husband served as a trustee, to the local Salvation Army, where our husband currently is on the board of trustees, to Nohoco Head Start, to the Coshocton Redskins tennis team and high school band, the community choir, the local Coshocton Footlight Players, the Roscoe Foundation, the Animal Shelter, both monetary, food, and supplies to 4 Paws, again with both money and supplies. The Johnson Humrick House Museum with money and items, the husband with a World War II Army helmet, and the wife with photographs by her and her father-in-law. What a list, but that is not all. The husband found land near West Lafayette belonging to Bill's Shirts and made it available to the Port Authority to attract new businesses to our community and research industries that require water for their production, and gave the list to the Port Authority. They have also given to the AME Church and sponsored Little League teams. The wife has been active in the Trirosis Club and has a special interest in the Junior Women's Club, where she became a member early in her life in Coshocton, participated and chaired the annual bargain fair for many years, and has earned honorary status in the club. And she has also donated over 100 books on art for the students of the Pomeranian Center for the Arts, as well as financial support over the years. She was also an early supporter and participant in the EMT squad when it was an all-volunteer group. She spent countless hours covering the squad, as well as many nights in the squad house. And she and her husband hosted a Rotary exchange student from South Africa when their children were in high school, even though neither were members of Rotary. She has also hosted in their home the Coshocton High School Student Council events, as well as Bible school crafts. And she is a strong supporter of the Girl Scouts, often chaperoning trips and helping them sell their cookies. They both volunteer often to work the Girl Scout and the Student Council's booth at the fairgrounds during Fair Week. Also, the husband occasionally would take the cymbals from the CHS marching band to their factory on weekends and dip them in an acid solution which would give the band the brightest symbols of bands. They provided a home for 4 extremely blessed daughters and always welcomed all the neighborhood children into their home. The wife was especially adept at serving breakfast, sometimes to the point that neighborhood children would slip out of their own homes just to enjoy the wife's hospitality and delicious creations. The husband dug a pond in their backyard to allow any and all to ice skate in winter and fish in the summer. And without charge, allowed Kathy Horn, who is now with the New York Times, to board her horses in their backyard. Kathy still speaks highly of our couple, writing, quote, "As a teenager, I was aware of the deep roots that our recipients had in our community through their family relations and various civic commitments. But I truly marvel at the steadiness of their involvement in Coshocton life, and by extension, West Lafayette became of their company. They have given so much to Coshocton and its quality of life by simply being the best examples of parents and friends. They are also critter lovers. They have housed many rescue animals in their home, as well as feeding many others on the back porch each day, and have trapped many of them and have had them spayed or neutered, and continue to feed them. The ones in the home, they would put up for adoption quite successfully. This is quite a testimony, along with their work with the animal shelter and the Four Paws Rescue Organization. Much of what they have done for the community has been anonymous, and therefore has been below the radar screen. But it is through the company, the husband and wife, formed together in 1963, that they have contributed so much to our community. In 2008, the company sponsored Wings Over Coshocton, which allowed a new generation to see and watch older aircraft, such as from the World War II era, which never would have happened otherwise. They continue to support the Wings Over Coshocton program, as well as the amphitheater there. Even though they have had a number of opportunities to sell the family business, the duo believe it is better to make certain that all the jobs remain in West Lafayette than to profit from the sale that would jeopardize their employees. And they have twice added new property to their business, 2 buildings, one in 1994 and another in 1999. Their devotion to the company is a two-way street. Listen to what the management team testified about our recipients. Quote, "We consider it a privilege to work for our recipients. They are always so positive, upbeat, and supporting. They treat us with respect, and we are not just an employee, but more like a part of their extended family." A few examples are, when business slowed down, they do not lay off anyone, but would sometimes shorten the work week for all, and then pay employees to clean, paint, and sweep the alley, as well as providing services to the city of West Lafayette, all while the employees stayed on the payroll, and with our recipients taking sometimes as much as a 50% pay cut themselves in order to get through the crisis. But our recipients also care about the personal lives of their employees, giving them time off in cases of bad weather, visiting employees after surgery in Columbus, being there for the birth of babies and then their baptisms, asking employees who have been ill how they are feeling, giving some gas money when the price of gas becomes so very high, or ask how a child is doing in college or school. In summary, our recipients have spent their lives building a business and enriching the lives of their employees and the community. To quote from the nominator's letter, quote, "Our recipients give to political causes according to their values, beliefs, and convictions as well, always believing in solid American values, that God and family are the two most important parts of a person's life, and that giving of one's own blessings to others is the right and responsible thing to do. Displaying through their lives that honesty, integrity, and true care, concern, and support to others are all lifelong priorities. Our recipients have earned the love and support of not just family, but of community members and those in the business community and of their employees who've taken the time to put their love for and appreciation of our recipients in writing." Putting all this together leads to only one conclusion, that our recipients are more than worthy of receiving the Coshoctonian Award. And so to all the cryptologists in our audience who have as yet to figure out who are our recipients, I am proud to present the 2012 Coshoctonian Award to Bill and Mary Timmons. Come on up. No. Bill and Mary.
Lori says hi too.
Bill and Mary, it is my honor to present to you with this well-deserved award. On behalf of our entire community, I want to express our appreciation for what you have done for all of us over the years and for all of your future achievements. You have earned our respect and admiration.
Did you know you were getting the award tonight?
Not at all.
And what were the thoughts going through your head as they were describing you and your husband's life?
I thought maybe that was Bill when I was hearing that. I thought, pretty sure.
Why do you and your husband feel so strongly about supporting various organizations and being a strong supporter of the county?
Well, we live here. We care about Coshocton. We hope it survives.